Hey there, reporter, this is PotterBrony, and welcome to another blind reaction of some MLP Fanwork. And this time we have a blind reaction of the Everything Wrong With series by Little Shy FiM. We have 3 of them this time. Would be Everything Wrong With Tradia, Inspiration Manifestation, and Equestria Games. Yeah, it's been a while, and figured I'd catch up to all 3 in one shot. As always, links to the description below. Be sure to support Little Shy over there. And let's get started with the first one, Tradia. In 3, 2, 1, and go.
Hey, every pony, step right up. Do not walk down.
Derp.
Here for your chance to
Duh.
try. We're all going to the Rainbow Ball
Nope,
Trainers
wrong one.
Exchange.
Pinky addresses the audience. Applejack tugs on one side of
That's
the
not a
strap,
sin.
and the other side magically attaches. Conversation starts at
Well,
the
it's
train
magic.
station and continues during their
a world
exit
of
of the
magic.
cave, which suggests quite a lot of dialogue was cut based on how far apart they are. These princess wings.
Why don't we pool our trade stashes?
Either of them thinking this is a good idea, even though each of them are keen to get something for themselves. Applejack may not be good with
Seriously.
math, but Rarity should know better.
Princess on duty, but I don't think that means I have to sit up there all alone doing nothing.
Twilight neglects her one job because she thinks it's too boring. This first edition, one-of-a-kind signed book is just sitting out on a table with no protection.
Daring do with the sapphire statue?
That's a good point.
Quest for the sapphire stone.
Yeah.
Well, which is it then? Rainbow actually thought this had value to anyone but herself.
It's one of a kind.
Rarity's
Well, that
misuse of
and,
that phrase suggests she has a long history of eBay sales. The brooch was definitely not there before, not even in the shot
Someone
directly
else.
prior to this one.
But I know it's older, and that's what makes it so much more divine.
Rarity admits even she knows they look alike, but the knowledge of one being older makes it rarer. That means there's a 50% chance she just shoplifted. And the vendor is either okay with that, or not paying any attention whatsoever to his merchandise. Orthros breaks random chains for the fun of it, but not its rope. The episode storyboard is visible here. Lamp appears, disappears, then reappears somewhere over here. Background pony cutie mark, OC pony cutie mark. Fluttershy's bad main day. This Brony OC is obviously a fan of that one Brony written episode. The show has officially been fully infiltrated. Background ponies are copied straight from previous episodes. They might have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for this blatant Philly Applejack clone.
I could use a slightly rusty old horseshoe.
This sin is in memorandum of my suspension of disbelief. Let it rest in peace. At no point, especially now, do they think to simply buy one of the items on their trading list. If the chalice can be traded for with a rusty old horseshoe, surely they can buy a bunch of them for a single bit. Pinkie Pie
That's a
traumatizes
fair
a
point.
child. The nose boop makes it assault and battery.
I just came to pony watch.
You can add stalking to the list of Pinkie's crimes.
I'm fast. I'll fly
Now,
over
that's
the lampstand
totally
and find
different.
out what kind of chicken he wants.
If she's so fast, she could have done it by now. Why is she still talking?
Well, maybe you shouldn't get one of those.
Yet another vendor quiet about something they shouldn't be okay with, and this time there's no denying he's aware of it. Background pony behind AJ appears out of nowhere and casually walks away. Dash's hoof detaches at the edges. Dude uses his Make-A-Wish wish to get on the show, only to be depicted as a jerk.
No.
Why does Lemon Hearts have to pay, but none of these ponies
That's
do?
a
Light
interesting
turns
point.
on, even though the pull chain isn't pulled. One head for licking ponies, the other head for something else. The one time Rainbow Dash is in a hurry and doesn't think to fly. Yeah, she's taking the Orthros, but she could always fly ahead and make the trade 20 feet away. But no, we need to let Fluttershy have this moment. Vendor handles first edition one-of-a-kind signed book after being covered in dog spit. Vendor
Right.
immediately heads for Manhattan without closing down their booth.
What did I do?
You sold your friend into servitude. Element
that's
of
what he's
loyalty, everyone.
Princess Twilight's
Well, that's kind of the point. I'm not sure if that counts as a sin.
Princess Celestia.
Pinkie takes a page from the marketing playbook of Hasbro.
Over here! Over here!
Changeling disguised as Minuet forgets to alter voice.
But my hoofs are tied.
Princess of Friendship rules that bureaucracy trumps friendship. Oops, accidentally moved the episode to the left. Just kidding. The editor of the episode itself did. There's no carriage nor engine in front of them. They're just magically moving down the track in one lone car. It's way too quiet in here considering this window is open. No, not that head.
Oh, God.
It's just a formality. How is Rainbow Dash gonna get the book she really wants?
Well, she's not.
That was good.
Hey
Damn
everyone,
right.
thanks for watching. This episode of CinemaRsins is special. Not only is this CinemaRsins number 100, but this month also marks
Oh, yeah?
the 5th year anniversary for this series. Whether you've been watching since then, or just recently started, thanks.
I guess all the ones he made for the Equestria games and stuff, Equestria Girls ones. I didn't think it was 100. Did I forget to look at? Was that in the title? Nope, not in the title. Oh. All right. Now everything wrong with inspiration manifestation. But yeah, with that one, I didn't. Yeah, congratulations on 100. I guess yeah, with all the Equestria Girls ones and all that, would round up the number because it's not 100th episode yet. And even that, he does the premieres as one. The premieres and finales of each season as one. Whatever. So that would cut it down by like 6 or something. I don't know, whatever. Okay, so. Whatever. Alright, so, moving on to inspiration manifestation. In 3, 2, 1, and go.
I need my book, Spike! What have you done with my book? The Ponyville Foal and Philly Fair is almost ready to begin!
Foal and Philly Fair translates to Baby and Girl Fair. So basically the same audience as what we're watching now.
Well,
Just
it
because
should be.
the attendees are young doesn't mean they don't
But that's not
deserve
the
my
audience that's
very best
watching.
creative work.
Rarity, sweet summer child, just look at what the youngins are watching on YouTube these days.
This puppet theater is going to be the talk of the Foal and Philly Fair.
Gee, this Foal and Philly Fair must be a pretty big event. Too big to ever actually show on screen, even. Both problems with the puppet theater are easily fixed. Simply remove the rear legs and flowers. Of course, that's not possible because then the episode wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
These possessed wings. Spike hunts for a vague magical solution all on his own instead of just asking his best friend and guardian, who happens to be a bona fide expert on magic.
It's not who.
The who joke is almost as unfunny and repetitive as a that joke is almost as unfunny and repetitive as reference.
And it's
Ladder
not
Hung from
consistent because
Invisible
sometimes he
Ray.
understands what
It
he's saying and
also
sometimes he
phases
doesn't.
through these books.
Come on, help a dragon out.
Why do you have to make everything about race, Spike? Spike just
seriously.
happens to pull on the book, which just happens to activate the passageway. But the real sin is that he felt the need to take a closer look at this book, which is clearly visible without removing it from the shelf. Assuming, of course, the books actually have covers in-universe, because if not, this is a 3-in-1 sin. Better get a punch in that sin card, Spike, you're due for a freebie. That's a cool trick, Spike, but the lock wasn't doing anything anyway. Why would Celestia and Luna have this book in such a giant room to contain it? Don't they have a better location to protect dangerous magic? The book's binding constantly swaps sides throughout the episode.
Yeah, and that was
If I
shown
wasn't
in
supposed to have it, it wouldn't be so easy to get.
Spike watches a lot of movies on
Mirror Magic.
Inspiration, manifestation.
Roll credits. This bell is decoration only. Rarity actually thinks casting a random spell from a scary-looking book given to her by Spike of all people is a good idea.
Yeah.
Does she not remember the last time some pony used a random spell before knowing what it did? The cart's wheels are on the wrong side. Picking it up to move it around would result in it digging into the ground.
Yeah, you have
It
to.
begins to roll up this
That's a
banner,
good point,
but then
yeah.
freezes and doesn't move at all.
Everyone knows that one.
Keep it just a scooch longer.
Rarity pronounces Scotch as Scooch and hopes no pony notices.
My fall line
But you
for the
noticed,
next
didn't you?
15 seasons.
19 seasons and a movie. Rarity wants to keep her dark magic a secret, which is why she's standing right behind Fluttershy, where she's bound to be seen. Rarity's ladylike beatboxing. What were these Earth ponies going to do with the spoons anyway? These ponies are either teleported far away or deleted from existence. In either event, there's a chance Rarity just committed murder.
That outfit I thought for sure.
What? This? I just wanted to try out a new look.
Twilight falling for this is no sin of her own, but rather for Spike.
Have you seen any ponies suspicious around?
What about that one rude unicorn we've never seen before and apparently don't even know by name? He should be suspect number 1 if he's not already. If he is already, then he's been falsely accused. Sin counter always wins.
It's always a sin.
Into solid crystal.
What gazebo? You mean town hall? The multi-story enclosed structure not at all fitting the definition of a gazebo?
And 2 ponies are now trapped inside its walls.
It would be 3 ponies, but I was on break and totally not neglecting my work there.
Yeah.
Spike uses the golden road to determine which way she went, but she couldn't have gone anywhere without retroactively making the ground Spike was standing on golden. Rarity completely forgets to question why Aloysius is flying around her like this, or to question why Spike is clearly swallowing a book-shaped object right in front of her.
Go by
Yeah,
chariot.
and
Or
no saying she
must
didn't
be
notice it.
calling them Rariot.
Step 1. Be consumed by an evil entity that completely changes who you are. Step 2. File for trademarks.
Transform by my creative genius!
Never underestimate the power of Rarity's creative vision! The moral is sound. Rarity's curse/possession is lifted when Spike ceases the empty compliments and tells her the truth. But in execution, this raises so many questions. Why wasn't it lifted when other true words were spoken? Had this occurred in any other situation, how could they have gotten free? Yeah, because all of this is Spike's fault. Not Rarity, who actually caused all the trouble. Maybe she was being controlled by something, but no pony made her cast the spell in the first place.
Yeah, but it is still Spike's fault because he let it go too
To do
long.
than help me clean up Ponyville.
Except Princess Celestia. She just didn't feel like helping.
Do you have any idea how hard it was to reverse that much dark magic?
The least reversible of magic is, of course, Dirk magic. That's right, we've made fun of both Tabitha St. Germain and Tara Strong today. No one's going to watch Cinemare Sins after this.
You don't look so good. What? I'm just being honest.
We have to wait another 64 episodes before we learn the pitfalls of being too honest.
Yeah, it doesn't travel. Oh, there's no room for my puppets.
Well done. Fixed. Episode over. Alright, so that was Everything Wrong with Inspiration Manifestation. Yeah, nothing more to add to that one. Now moving on to Everything Wrong with Equestria Games. In 3, 2, 1, and go.
Kinda wish this was over, 'cause it isn't yet.
Spike is
Oh, boy.
irritatingly oblivious. The background voices contain far more ponies than actually seen. And seconds later, there's no background voices at all. Once the main characters speak, they take quiet on the set very seriously.
Well,
The
they would have to.
celebrity
They're the
wins.
main characters.
This opening has dangerously jagged edges, suggesting lawsuits don't exist in Equestria. This luggage cart is useful,
But
but
only
only up
for
until one reaches the
Pegasus.
platform stairs.
I have a simple trick.
Spike giving advice is a textbook example of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Spike, are you
I'll have to
alright?
look that up.
Even this
Dunning-Kruger
building is
effect.
concerned.
You are known throughout my empire as great and honorable, Spike the Brave and Glorious.
Some pony had to actually think that title through and decide it's a fitting name.
Yeah.
Somehow they missed this when they arrived. There's no way this guy's taking a picture of the statue while this close. Mark on Twilight's throne looks like a cheap knockoff at first, then it goes back to name brand. Although, knowing Hasbro, maybe it was the other way around. This pony has been decapitated. Remember these super important characters? Well look, now we have even more super important characters we'll rarely see again. Careful there, buddy. You almost tripped on nothing.
Have you told him?
No, but he might have figured it out on his own.
Twilight knows Spike better than any pony, and yet she still overestimates him.
Or I can light fire with my mind.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
How you saved our empire last time
Huh,
we were here was
that is a good point.
amazing.
Spike is praised throughout this episode. Remember, this is the event they're all referring to. You know, that time Twilight and Cadence saved the day while Spike tripped up and almost destroyed the heart. If this were any other cartoon, Twilight would have simply lit this on fire for him, continuing a cascading series of white lies which end in disaster. Instead, Twilight skips all that TV tropes nonsense and crushes Spike's dreams right away.
If I can set fire to
And you're
stuff
still
in
gonna
your
send
mind,
that?
Mind reading must be just
Because she
around the
skipped the
corner.
TV
Those two
trope
abilities
nonsense.
have just about nothing in common.
But if she
Sorry,
did the
this is not
trope
the time
nonsense,
to
you would have
take a
sent
nap.
it.
Unicorns will no longer
You can't
be
win with this
without a
guy.
disabling spell.
But unicorns wearing hats are okay to pass. We know Applejack doesn't have a horn, but you'd think they'd realize a hat could defeat this level of security.
And make sure you don't even try casting a spell or we'll know it.
Does he say all of that to every unicorn, or just main characters? Somehow, even
Only
with
when the
both
plot
Bicep
calls
and
for it.
Fluttershy's slowdown, Dash still manages to take second place. Meaning, had they been replaced with literally any other Pegasi, they'd have taken gold and remained ahead by miles. The Crystal Citizens have brought this upon themselves by foolishly making Spike their celebrity. Spike brings this embarrassment upon himself by being foolish. Meanwhile, a sin is brought upon this episode for making us endure it.
Wish this
Yeah, but it was awesome.
over 'cause it isn't yet.
And it was ad-libbed, so...
Now, oh, weird the Wonderbolts.
This goes on for some time. This section is where the ponies sit, and this section is where the alien blob creatures sit. This dividing line is awkward for everyone involved.
But I don't know the words to the Cloudsdale anthem.
Sorry, every pony, there's been a misunderstanding. Exit stage left, problem solved. That doesn't happen.
Nope.
This pony forgets he's a competitor and not a spectator. The
See,
event
there was a TV
organizers
trope of
really should
continuing
have had a
something
contingency
when they
plan
could have
for
just
this.
stopped it easily.
Towards the field! Away from the ground!
Send that...
Threat of a giant, jagged ice cloud smashing into a stadium full of ponies. You know, for kids.
Cut the disabling spell!
There isn't time!
So
The
we're not even gonna
disabling
try.
spell should have only applied to unicorns that had to pass through security. Did they really make all of the officials and even the princesses do this? These ponies are too far away to help, but too close to be safe. Thank Celestia for their indecisiveness. Spike momentarily breaks physics. Leave it to the pink princess sellout to bow before Spike. Celestia and Luna ain't having none of that.
Would you do me the great honor of lighting fireworks in my...
Cadence will never learn. Gotta wonder if she's been sarcastic this whole time and is actually mocking Spike with this special treatment and obnoxious titles. Headcanon accepted. Spike lights a dozen fireworks, but we see almost 20 detonate. Maybe Twilight wasn't done helping after all.
If any of you could do that, you'd have done the same.
They probably could have taken care of that, if the conflict wasn't so arbitrarily restricted and the story not focused on giving Spike the spotlight. The overarching problem with Spike episodes is that every pony else has to be dragged down for him to shine at all.
Fair point. But you didn't bring up one thing. Talk about after it's done. Oof.
I don't know. Can you turn back time? Sure like a do on that opening ceremony.
She was considering it. Oh, dude. I never noticed that, but she was actually thinking about it. I probably could. Okay, yeah, there's one thing that you didn't bring up. Was that it was building up to the Equestria Games. All this stuff going on. Equestria Games had been mentioned since Season 3. And this is the episode we got. Now, to be fair, I like the episode. But it's not what I was expecting at the time. So I was a little disappointed at the time of airing. But it's grown on me, so... Alright, so the Dunning-Kruger effect. In the field of psychology, the Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias in which people of low ability have the illusionary superiority and mistakenly access their cognitive ability as greater than it is. Alright, so they think they're better than they are. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, really nothing more to add to that. I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that. As I said before, be sure to support the official releases. The links are in the description below. And I'm getting this one here. Until next time, take care.